Welcome to your new home, Alex Smith. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Alex Smith gets set for his debut in D.C. as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Washington Redskins. With that, we'll get up to FedEx Field for the Washington home opener. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And incomplete to open things up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that. They might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
3rd and 2, Smith. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive, and that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now the 4th-year man from Texas A&M, Christian Michael. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Mack. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 18 carries, 87 yards.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
On second down, here's Locke. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Locke. And he's got Rodgers. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a handoff. It's Christian Michael. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down is Locke. Throw left side complete. That's Doyle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On third down, it's Michael. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
On first down, Locke. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Pernell McPhee in there to get him for a loss of 5. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now we'll carry from back. And a short gain down to about the 33. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, block. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Doyle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run to Mack, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Colts on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. 675. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And here come the Redskins now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On first down, it's Smith. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And Davis with it left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Richardson. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
They go play action here on first down. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Tressway now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. Here's the Redskin defense. They get set for this next possession. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect, because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway, because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway, that's for sure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Colts on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Luck. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now Luck. Throw complete there. Rodgers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Now a first down throw. Luck. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Back to throw. Love. Brought it over the middle by Graham. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Play action, it's locked. Caught left side by Hilton. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts add on to their lead. Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And it's now 14-0. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Right.
Smith on first down. Out to the left. It's complete to Dodson. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play, and facing a 2nd and long. Off the bootleg. Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it, and the Colts pick it up. And a costly turnover there as the ball will be spotted 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Here's Mack on the toss. And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Now Mack. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. They'll run it now out of the gun. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. They'll fake it. Now Love. Looking deep for Hilton. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Colts add on to their lead. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, now he pulls him over. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now a play fake here on first down. Room to run past midfield. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Here's Luck now on second down. He sets to fire deep. And this will be caught at the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shifts by him. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run a toss play to Michael. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Christian Michael, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Vinatieri now for the point after.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On 1st and 10, Smith. They will find Davis on the left side complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. They will find Davis. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Set, line 80. I said,
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And Reed with it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Smith airing one out for Crowder. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away, but that brings up fourth.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Tressway now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we come to halftime here with an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter three. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, what a juke into space. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They run it here with Thompson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah.
Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now a give. It's Michael. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Ready? Line 80.
Smith. They'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Wrong. Wrong. Check out. Alert. 70. Kill. 675. Middle.
Staying on the ground with Mack. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Colts on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 4. Now the rookie from NC State, this is Nyheim Hines. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Colts just continue to pour it on. And that was a 3rd and medium situation. Thought they might pass it. They ran it. And they're glad they did.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's a surprise to me that they ran the ball in that situation. Usually you worry about trying to get that kind of yardage on the ground against NFL defenses. Instead, they crossed them up. That took a little fortitude to make that call. And, boy, it matched up really, really well. The element of surprise plus some excellent execution, off he goes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball?
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he fields it cleanly. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Off of play action, here's Smith. A deep ball for Dotson. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8.
You got 4. You got 80. 80.
Out of the gun, Smith. And he comes back with one complete. How did he stay on his feet? They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Smith. Escaping the pressure right.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power, but not a ton to show for it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. A run by Mack to start the drive. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Crowder now to return. Oh, spinning away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. On first down, Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Thompson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned,
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 39, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes a fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The first carry for the rookie, it's Jordan Wilkins. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On third down, it's Wilkins, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Smith. That is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Redskins on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Smith. And he drops this off to Townsend, complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. To the air again, Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Again, Smith. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on first and second down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on fourth down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on first and second down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Smith on first down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, the offense can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. On first down, it's Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the gun, here's Smith. That's caught by Trey Quinn. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. One last throw here for Smith. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Indianapolis, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly.